In this video, I'm going to share some reasons why you should start woodworking today. Seriously, like right now. You know you want to. My name's Daver, and I'm an aspiring woodworker who has been making woodworking related content on the internet for the past few years. This is Daver Made. This is Daver Made. This is Daver Made. If you're curious about my woodworking journey and possibly some of my other videos on woodworking, I'll leave some links in the description below, and please consider subscribing to follow along. So what is woodworking? Whew, that is the question. This is gonna be a little controversial. Woodworking is the working of wood. And what that means is totally up for you to decide. So whether you build a dining room table from an old oak tree you felled yourself, make a pine wood derby car, or even refinish an old walnut dresser, or just make a simple spice rack.
Spice racks. Yeah, that's one fine looking. Why doesn't mine look like that?
You could consider any of that woodworking. Don't at me. Now let's talk about the benefits of learning woodworking or woodwork. Woodworking is a skill that has been around as long as humans have been building shit, which is a really long time. There are so many things that entails using wood to build various stuff such as furniture, cabinetry, decorative items, homes, weapons, toilet seats, and much more. And let's talk about how woodworking is a really great skill to learn and have, especially when society collapses and you will need to be useful to that wild gang of cannibal marauders so they won't eat you and your family. Believe it or not, woodworking can also be a means of self-expression. You can express your unique sense of style by designing and building custom pieces using wood.
This is what I did last night. After I got home, I drank 6 more glasses of whiskey, and then I finished crafting this small harp using a bandsaw, a spoke shave, and an oscillating spindle sander.
Learning woodworking can also help you create and fix furniture and also other household items, thus saving you money. Well, kind of, after you spend all your money on the tools that you need to woodwork, but after that you should be good like forever until you need to upgrade and get better tools, because you're gonna wanna get better tools. Also, once you finish a project, you will feel an awesome sense of pride and accomplishment after a lot of frustration and questioning your existence. But seriously, you'll feel very good once you finish a project that you've been working on and putting a lot of blood, sweat, and sometimes tears into. Learning how to woodwork is a useful skill for both personal and professional reasons. It gives you the chance to be creative, reduce stress, and perhaps open doors that may not have been open to you before. Most of the time, woodworking is also a really good way to relieve stress and reduce tension. I say most of the time because sometimes you have to deal with wood movement. Woodworking is also really beneficial because you're working with your hands, and it can be somewhat grounding and connecting to nature in a way, and you're shaping something that once had life into something else, and there's just something you really need to do it to understand. And doing something physical with your hands can be really therapeutic, except sanding. Sanding. Woodworking makes you stop staring at screens and using electronic devices that you likely obsessively use in your daily life and every time you're on the toilet. It helps you concentrate on what you're doing at that very moment. It's freeing for your mind, and it keeps you present, which is a present in this crazy world we live in. Who wrote this? Also, learning woodworking may open up some professional options for you. So you can make your own line of Live, Laugh, Love wooden signs and sell them on Etsy. You'll have absolutely no competition. The building, furniture, and cabinet industries all have a need for competent woodworkers. I said competent woodworkers, so no bourbon drinking on the job. Now, when you start woodworking, I really encourage you to share your journey, because there's something humbling about sharing any piece of anything that you created with the world. It is a good way to get feedback, tips for getting better, and also seeing your progress over time. It's also a good motivator to keep making stuff and becoming part of a community that is mostly positive and encouraging. Sharing anything on the internet puts you at risk for someone hating on your work or just trolling you. So if you don't have thick skin or don't take kindly to idiots, maybe only share your work with friends and family. Hopefully they can give you honest feedback without trolling you. If not, maybe you should get some new friends or family. I will say this, if you start posting your stuff on the internet, you're gonna get a lot of positive feedback. But ultimately, you're gonna get somebody who claims to be a quote unquote real woodworker, and they'll tell you you suck. They'll also try to woodsplain you and tell you what you did wrong, but they'll probably never share any ways to improve. And the funny thing will be is that they won't prove that they're a woodworker, and they'll never post any content of anything they made. So just ignore those people. They don't mean anything. To be honest, I feel like these people are just a cancer to the craft, and as far as I'm concerned, they can f all the way off. So just ignore the haters and keep going. If you want to use pine, use pine. I built my first dining room table using pine, and despite what many people online said would happen, it's actually held up pretty great. I'm also really proud of that table. All that said, use pine, pocket holes, and keep building. YouTube is a great resource for ideas, knowledge, inspiration, and all those things related to woodworking, and there are so many amazing woodworkers on the platform. However, do not compare yourself to them. You are just beginning your journey, and they're likely many years into theirs, which is why they have more tools, bigger shops, more subscribers, and they all seem to have a domino joiner. If you compare yourself and your work to those woodworkers, you will only be disappointed, frustrated, and probably want to quit. Ask me how I know. Point being, you're on your own journey, and if you keep at it, you'll build up your skills, your knowledge, and your shop. Woodworking is like golf. It can take many years to get good at it. You can do it until you're old, and your back and shoulders will always hurt for some reason. All that said, I hope that this gives you some reasons to stop thinking about starting woodworking and just start woodworking. Also, please consider subscribing to my channel for more woodworking related content like this video. Going forward, I kind of came up with a mission statement, which is to try to make woodworking cool.
How do you do, fellow kids?
Accessible and fun, and hopefully increase interest in the craft here and on the rest of the internet. I'm not an educator of woodworking, although you may learn a thing or two, what to do and what not to do from watching my videos. I'm just someone pursuing the craft and sharing my journey and some tips and tricks along the way. I want to inspire and educate through sharing my own journey and the passion that I have for the craft. And I believe that woodworking is pretty cool, and I want to show how awesome it is. I appreciate you watching. I hope you got something out of this video. And until next time, take care.